Welcome back to another video. My name is Henrik and today we're going to be looking at the updated Q4 E-Tron Sportback from Audi. This is going to be with the biggest motor, well, not the biggest motor, but the biggest in general that you can get with the 55 Quattro version, which is going to cost you $61,000 in the space price. And if you want to get the very basic of it, $55,000, and the non-Sportback is going to cost you $2,000 less, so around 53,000 euros. This is quite a big car, which you will definitely notice. Let's start off with the design in the front. You can see we have this kind of fake grille in here with the integrated license plate in there as well. You have like all these nice little black touches in here with your Audi logo in there as well, with also the S-Line exterior and also the black touches on here with the white color, which in my opinion looks pretty good. In here we also have the Matrix LED lights, which you get for 1,100 euros extra, which look very nice as well. They have like this kind of, I don't know, aggressive look in my opinion. Down here we have some fake air intakes and a bigger spoiler on the like a front lip down here with a little bit of aerodynamic touches so you can cool the engine down there or the battery pack. The CV value of the car is also only 2.7, even though it is so big in my opinion, and these big side mirrors that you get on here as well, those are some massive side mirrors by the way. Down here we also have 20-inch wheels which do look pretty good, or rims which in my opinion look pretty good, and they're also solid, so they're not plastic. You got two 35s 50 on the front, and we have two 55 45s in the rear with also 20-inch rims on there. We do have the S-Line exterior looking pretty good, with also you have the logo of the Audi logo down here as well. One thing that you'll notice is also the quality of the door sound. Fairly decent. The car is going to be 1.58 meters tall. It's going to be 4.58 meters long, or 58.8, and also 1 meter and I think it was 86 wide. In my opinion, I do personally like the front a little bit more than the back. In the back we get a big spoiler in here, which is going to be almost, if you know the ID.5 for instance, then you're familiar with that. This is going to look almost like that. ID.5 spoiler is a little bit bigger, which you'll definitely also see from the interior. LED light going back around here, which does look pretty nice in my opinion, with the white color and also the black touches. Further down we have a little bit more of piano black down there, with also E-Tron logo on there, with a little bit of a diffuser down here as well. The towing capacity of this car is going to be 1.4 tons, and if we open up the boot, which is going to be electrical, there's going to be a little bit of stuff in here, but we're going to put some close-ups in there. 535 up to 1,425 liters, and you can flip over obviously the seats to get those full amount of range. Full amount of volume. And over on the right rear you can open up the charging port in here, and you're going to be able to find on all models an 82 kilowatts an hour battery, which is going to allow you to use 77 of that. You're going to be able to charge it with the all-wheel drive system with 175 kilowatts. That's going to take you around 28 minutes to charge it from 10 to 80% because it has a 400 volt architecture. And with the rear-wheel drive only 135 max speed. The claimed range is around 488 kilometers. Right now we were at a max of 100. We had around 400 kilometers of range. WLTP claims around 16.5 up to almost 19 kilowatts an hour, and that is what you're going to be looking at when driving this car. The car's also going to weigh it at around 2.2 tons.
So how does it compare to its competitors? The main issue that the car has always had was its range and charging speed relative to its price, while competitors offered better value for money. For example, a Tesla Model Y provides a range up to 600 kilometers, starting in Germany at around 7,000 euros less, and also has a maximum charging speed of 210 kilowatts, though it may offer lower quality, so really depends on what you're looking for. You might also want to look at the siblings of the e-tron, for instance, the Volkswagen ID.4 or the Skoda Enyaq. Videos on those all on our channel, which are on the same platform as the e-tron, so the MEB platform. However, my favorite car is still going to be the EV6, which is also featuring the 800 volt architecture and has a GT variant for an exceptional driving experience if you're looking to go fast. And that car, in my opinion, is a really good bang for your buck.
In the back you get a ton of space. You can see right here, this is adjusted to me in the front, 5'11", meter and 18. You can see there is a ton of space, which I really do like. With an electric car, obviously because the battery's under the floor, you're always going to be limited with a little bit with the seating position in here, so your upper thigh is not going to fully touch with the seat in the back, but because you do have a little bit more legroom, you can stretch them out a little bit more and support them a little bit better. You do, for instance, have a center console as well, where you can, or an armrest where you can have two cup holders in there, and you could theoretically also flip over the whole center right there, so you have a tunnel which goes through, which is nice. When it comes to the quality on the side, it loses a little bit of quality on the back, a little bit more hard plastic. This is nice because you can put your bottle in there just like in the front. You have the Sonos sound system. In general, a lot of storage space. There's the seats in here also very nice. With the S-Line, you get those like red stitching here as well with the interior, which I really like. In the bottom, you have a climate control for your rear. So you can change it on here. You have 2 USB-Cs and a 12-volt charging port in there if you theoretically want. And on the top you get 2 lights which you can press and they'll turn on. Zoopy! So the first thing that I noticed when driving this car is that in the front you have a lot of space. So it protrudes way up to the front. And then you have a fairly small bonnet, which makes it feel like this is the bonnet actually, but it isn't. Then, a couple of things that you get new now with the update is you have the infotainment display, and the digital cockpit is going to be standard on all of them. So that's a standard option that you get, as well as heated seats in the front. You can see down here, I do personally like this because that's on it's Audi typical stuff that they have the climate control still integrated down here. A little bit of piano black down here, so quality wise I'm not the biggest fan of piano black, but you have it down here with the smaller gear selector that you have on your typical electric cars for Audi. Down here, inductive loading, 2 USB-Cs, a little bit of a 12 volt and a little bit more storage space down there. Actually very nicely managed for the space that they have in there. Quality wise, yeah, down here you have hard plastic. But otherwise, when you sit in here, it feels fairly high quality. It feels nice, high quality. I mean, you are paying a little bit of a price for this car, so you expect a little bit more quality, and especially from an Audi. You do have the optional heads-up display, which is augmented reality, so meaning it is like in the ID3, ID4, ID5, where it shows you arrows and portrays them onto the street, which is nice. When driving this, it feels comfortable. Obviously in the city, most electric cars are going to be driving comfortably. You're going to have that constant electric power, which is delivered nicely in an equal amount.
The car also has quite a lot of different variants. For instance, the 45 variant with the rear-wheel drive system, delivering 210 or 286 horsepower and going from 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. That is the same as, for instance, the ID5 or 4 and also the Skoda Enyaq. You also have the Quattro version of that, which delivers the same horsepower but does the sprint in 0.1 second quicker. And the top models, the 55 E-Tron with the Quattro system and also the Sportback system, reach a total of 340 horsepower and reaching the 0 to 100 in 5.4 seconds. That is the same as the ID5 or 4 GTX variants and also the Skoda Enyaq RS model. All variants also have a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
The ride noise in here is also very limited. There is not much noise. It is very nicely isolated and in general feels pretty nice when driving this. The surrounding view in here is also an interesting one because with the Sportback that we have on the back, you have that spoiler which is integrated into the rear window, which kind of interrupts halfway through your line of vision back there. Nothing that I complain about, but it's just a little bit of an interesting one. The side mirrors are also especially big, one thing that I have noticed. So I think those might actually produce a lot of noise when you're going a little bit faster, but usually when you're driving an electric car, you're not going to be going too fast. I mean, that is true. With the seats in here, they're also very comfortable. You have these S-Line seats with some like Alcantara inlines in here, which feels very nice. Heated seats, like I said, you do have lumbar support. You have traction control in here, drive select mode, you can choose between those. If we press onto the drive assist, you can see we have a lot of assistant features in here, everything that you basically need, and a little bit of stuff that you don't need. Well, you need, but I wouldn't like it because of every time you're going too fast with the new European laws, you have to have a sign or like a sound which plays every time. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but that's just how it is. Sonos sound system, but in general a fairly nicely and high quality interior. And while we're driving in the city, we can see we are on, I think, around 90, or there it says 97% battery, and we have 403 kilometers of range left. And while we have been driving in the city, 13.9 kilowatts an hour usage, which electric cars usually they don't take too much while driving in the city. This car also going to weigh in at around 2.2 tons or 2.145, which is obviously fairly heavy. Electric cars are usually heavy, so you are going to have to get a little bit more used to driving a little bit more of a weighty car if this is the first time you're driving it. Suspension here is also fairly comfortable. They adjusted a little bit of a couple of things to drive it, make it a little bit more sporty. You do have adaptive dampers, which you have an option that you can get.
And the new tuning of the suspension enhances the balance, offering greater comfort, driving pleasure and stability. Whether it's the standard suspension, sport suspension or the suspension with the damper control that we have in here. All three have been specifically adjusted for steering and damping. This results in smoother oscillation, improved steering response and firmer body control. The sports suspension also lowers the body by 15mm, and the new spring damper and steering adjustments provide a balanced, solid driving feel typical of Audi, with a sporty response. The Audi Q4 E-Tron models react more directly to steering inputs, enhancing agility and sportiness.
So what is my final verdict on the Q4 E-Tron Sportback updated version? Well, personal preference, it always depends on if you like the exterior or not. I personally really do like the front. The back is not completely my type. Charging speed is not the fastest with 175, but for daily usage that's going to be completely fine, and you get a fairly decent range in there as well. So you're going to be able to charge at 28 minutes, which is completely fine. We did it with the Volvo EX30, which had around the same speed, even less, and that was completely fine. We got around 20 minutes to go another 200 kilometers. With this, even a little bit more. Quality interior, really nice. I do like the interior as well, and you get a ton of space in the back. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. We'll see you next time, and until then, bye-bye.